Okay then, so we are 2 tests down, well technically a shakedown and test down, and 1 test left to go, so let's have a little bit of a look forward to what to expect over the final 3 days of F1 preseason testing. These take place over the course of Wednesday, Thursday and Friday this week, and hopefully this Friday I'll be able to sit down and talk to you lot about the stories that come up from it. The timings are the same as last time. They run from 10 o'clock to 7 p.m. local time every day, which means if you're in the UK, it's 7 a.m. till 4 p.m. I believe in terms of broadcast, it will remain the same as well. F1 is trying out some new things, new graphics, new cameras, new methods for this season. So whilst they are running the broadcast the full day, they're doing it as a kind of glorified test session for themselves. So as a result, we'll probably only get the last hour, much like we did the first time around in Bahrain. As for what to expect in terms of running, expect some teams to be trying out new upgrades in their cars, most likely the Melbourne spec. I heard rumours of Ferrari have run the same power unit since their first shakedown at Maranello, which means that we could see a new Ferrari power unit in the back there, and it could behave a little bit differently. Whether that means it's some variety on the same thing, where it's within a normal kind of tolerance, like slightly more or slightly less power, we'll have to wait and see on that one. But overall, generally speaking, you can expect to see a few changes between Test 1 and Test 2. Maybe it's even things like, oh, this is the kind of setup we're more likely to use at a Barcelona, or a Bahrain, or a Melbourne, or a Baku, or a Monza. Though why you'd use something that's considered a little bit more Monza spec in Bahrain, I don't really know. Do expect to see only a maximum of 11 cars running still though. They're not doing the full 22. F1 testing's never really been about that. So expect to see 11 cars out on track. Expect to see some teams trying to maximise their mileage. I'm thinking teams like Aston Martin in particular, though Mercedes, even though they've gotten quite a lot of miles, have often had little glitches here and there that have affected how much running they can actually get. So in terms of what to expect, there's not really much else. You don't really look for the headline times. You look for the different stories that come out about it, people speculating different reasons why different teams are better. So for instance, one that has been emerging over the past few days is about Ferrari's power unit on race starts, because apparently the reason why the debated rule change that fell through last June, because of Ferrari, was because Ferrari became aware of this issue the year beforehand, tried to raise it, and, well, the FIA and the other team said no. So Ferrari built their power unit with that in mind, with the idea there was going to be turbo lag, essentially. But do expect to see other kinds of speculation, like the one about how the best way to regen the battery is, and who's got the best technique. Is everyone just going to copy what Max Verstappen is doing? Use first gear, double downshift, brake, double downshift. We'll have to wait and see, and do expect to see some dramas. Do expect to see drivers as they're getting more used to their cars, more comfortable with their cars, pushing it a little bit more. Less of the kind of lockups that we've been seeing, though that could still happen, but more of the spins. We'll also get more of an idea of what characteristics are going to be quite common in this generation of F1 car. I am thinking, for example, about how the different cars will handle different corners, and how it will vary from lap to lap. Because when you look at the turn 9-10 complex, part of the reason why you've seen so many lockups, overshoots, drivers running wide is because the approach speeds have varied so much lap to lap. And the type of corner it is, where you've got a slight crest into a dip, into a hard braking zone, into a cambered hairpin, a very mild camber, but still a cambered hairpin, is enough to push the setup constraints to their very limits. I don't think we'll be getting to the point where we talk about always push rod or pull rod at the front more effective. I don't think we're going to be quite there yet. But if you do see some varieties on the car between this test and the previous test, do expect that to come up. But as always, folks, thanks for watching, thanks for joining, thanks for your continued support on this channel, and I hope to see you in a few days when we get to talk about all of this and more. But till then, as always on this channel, it's bye-bye for now.